Welcome back to Keep On Collecting. Our friends at Mattel have very kindly sent us 2 figures to look at for free. So let's check out these latest releases from Mattel. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's do this one first. All right, the first one is Vykron. He is currently available on the Mattel Creations site. You can purchase this figure. Matter of fact, I've already purchased this figure. So to be receiving this from Mattel is just a bonus to review. I was going to get around and review it anyway. This has just forced my hand. Vykron is very important in Masters of the Universe history. These are basically the prototypes that Roger Sweet designed and created to present to the Mattel board for the Masters of the Universe toy line. Originally, we saw 3 figures released for Masters of the Universe Classics line back in 2012. It was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So just commendable. Look at this artwork on the front. We see the 3 characters, Tank Man or Tank Head. Can't remember his name exactly. We have SciFi Man and we have the Barbarian. So these are 3 very famous looking characters for the Master Universe. Let's swirl this around and check out the rest of the artwork. So you can see it's part of the Masterverse. That's upside down. On the back, we've got 3 depictions of these characters in action. So we've got SciFi Man. Looks like he's in outer space with some planets and some spaceships, fighting some kind of millipede creature. We have the Barbarian fighting some skeleton warriors, which actually are coming soon. I think I've seen them on pre-order. I've got them on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store, so I'm guessing they will be with us shortly. And we have Tank Head. Can't confirm whether these guys are friends or foes, but this looks more like it could be set on Eternia. And then the artistry just wraps around the box. We have a city. That's interesting, that city, the design there. Yeah, it looks very nice. And we come back to the front. All right, let's open this figure up and see what we've got inside. Well, in actual fact, the box opens up and we've got another box inside. The Barbarian is there. I think that's the full artistry, the full depiction of the battle scene there. All right, let's open this up. This is what we have. We have Vykron in his Barbarian form. It sounds like there's a box full of, there we go, some accessories in there so I can transform into the other characters. Some weapons attached to the cardboard. This Tank Man's head. And we have this awesome artwork as a bit of a backdrop to display the figure. All right, this is Vykron in Barbarian form. There wasn't much to do with Vykron with this form. He basically comes with his battle axe. He's already dressed up with his helmet. He's got his furry shorts. The articulation looks like it's amazing. He's a little bit stiff with the joints. I'm trying to wiggle his feet, his ankle joints quite a lot. We do have a cape, a soft goods cape, so that's cool. Just some furry bits there. That's good. It's always good to get some soft goods. I mean, you can see with this guy, so he's got ankle articulation. He's got amazing knee articulation. He's got this thigh articulation up here. He's got his waist that he can turn. And of course, now he's got this gut, but I can't really, I'm trying to force it, but I can't really get him to do any movement there. So I'm not really sure what's happening there. That may be something to do with the tank version later or something. You can see he's got a lot of articulation in his shoulders, in his bicep, in his elbow, in his wrist. So I'm guessing he comes with some shin guards here. And he comes with his chest plate, and I think that's attached. You can see that's attached there to the strap. You could probably pull that off because you can remove that, and it looks like it's got an area where you could probably hold the battle axe or something in the back there. And the helmet, I can't get the helmet off, so I'm thinking the helmet is stuck to the head, and you remove the head and the head is replaced and put on with the other parts. All right, let's have a look at these other parts. So these are the other parts that we've got. First, the SciFi Man. So we're going to transform him into SciFi Man. We've got a gun. We've got this. Yeah, this is all connected up. So we've got a new helmet, which is connected with a mask and a piping there to the suit. And then that's gonna slip on over. Yeah, work like that, I guess. The helmet, let's have a look at the helmet. Oh, there we go. So we're going to pull his head off by the looks of it and put this on his little plug on his head. Now the two parts are just bracelets. Okay, let's get these parts on and create SciFi Man. All right, here is SciFi Man. So SciFi Man was a little bit tricky to put together. So you had to pull his hands off, and off slipped his old his bracelets, and on slipped the new ones, and you put the hand back in. You pull the old head off, and as I said, there's a plug in here, and it plugs onto the knob. It ties up around the back there right here. And of course he had his gun. So the shin guards have remained. So basically his lower half of his body has just stayed the same, and we've just changed it up top. His head didn't go on the plug too easily. All right, I figured out that this is actually belongs to SciFi Man. I guess that's his like jetpack, helps him fly. So that just actually lay him down, it's just easier. Clips onto his armor there. So you can see those two bits. They are connected in there via those two bits. That's better. But still all upper torso stuff. Nothing was really added to his lower torso or his legs. All right, now we will get on to Tank Man. All right, here is Tank Head. Now, before I start on Tank Head, I absolutely love his look. I love his accessories. I love the gun, and you can hold it just like that. However, I have one issue. I actually have a couple of issues with this figure. Number one is the head doesn't go on. That connector does not reach that hole up there in the helmet. So I cannot, for the life of me, connect that helmet on there. So maybe just call me silly, but that's just, I can't do that. And the only other head I have is this head. And if you put that head on, the tank head doesn't go over it. So I'm at a loss on why I can't do that. The only other issue I have, mine had a bit of a defect with the backpack. As you can see, there's a hole there. They connect into a hole. Sadly, this strap here, the hole, it's got a bit of a defect. So it doesn't have a hole, so it can't connect in. So that's my two issues with my tank head figure. Else, I found out that these are his shoulder pads. They go on quite easily. They just connect into the armor, and it's very similar to Man-at-Arms. And his gloves, of course, you just pull his hands out, and then you can slip those right onto the forearm and put the hands back in, which can be a bit tricky, I'm going to admit. Need a little bit of patience with the hands. And then, of course, you've got his shin guards here. They were very, very easy to put on. However, it was a bit tricky to pull the old shin guards off. So the original Barbarian shin guards, yeah, you had to slide them out, and that you needed strong fingers, maybe a little bit of fingernail to push these out. It's a little bit tricky. As I said, love his look, the armor, the gun itself. So yeah, you can pose him up really cool with his gun. And I'm just a little bit disappointed that, yeah, I couldn't fit his head into that hole there. The ball joint just would not reach. Because poor pass Matt, he's got no idea. He's really struggling without the instructions. But give it a few days and future Matt can figure it out. So this is the deal with the tank head one. All right, upon looking at some pictures, I figured that his head remains on the body, and then this head, this tank piece, just actually does go over top, and the top of his helmet clicks into the indentation at the bottom, like inside the helmet. So that's it. Figured it out eventually. So we figured it out for poor past Matt. It's good to come back.
Hey, Matthew, you're not tripping back in time again, are you? Didn't I tell you about the butterfly effect? Get back here.
That's a cool head. Like, those guns rotate. It looks very similar to like a Zoar or a Screech head. And the mouth opens too. So I was very impressed with, yeah, the mouth opening and closing. And the guns rotating. I think they can do 360, yeah. So they can do 360, those guns. And if I could just get that on there, I think that's the way I would probably prefer him. That's a very unique look for a Masters of the Universe figure. So I would probably display him like that. How would you display him? Do you prefer the SciFi Man? Do you prefer the tank head, or do you prefer the Barbarian? How would you display it? Comparison time. Comparison to just a regular size Masterverse figure. Well, as you can see, they're all just a little above 7 inches. I think tank head would be a bit taller just because of the tank head. But I think once you get the Barbarian back in, it would be the same size. But yeah, completely different skin color as well, if you notice. And he's a bit glossy. He's got more gloss. That's a bit more matte. But yeah, the articulation, everything is pretty much the same as a Masterverse figure because it is in that line. I guess the fun part of this character is that you can mix and match as well. So as you can see here, I've chucked on the Barbarian head back onto Tank Man's body and armor. I've put on the SciFi jetpack. You can create your own man as well. Instead of just going very generic with one of those 3 characters, I reckon you could create a best of character and yeah, just go for it and have some fun with this figure and create your own Masterverse figure. Anyway, that's just my thoughts, my wanderings, my musings on this figure. Let's move on to our next figure, shall we? Our next figure from Mattel is Fang-or. And it came in this box. So there's not too much known about this figure. I think it'll be available through Mattel Creations shortly. It hasn't appeared up there yet, or Big Bad Toy Store. It's just some very simple sketch artistry on the boxes here. This will be an Origins figure. So let us open up Fang-or. Holy tabooly, look at Fang-or. New for 23. Retro Play. Let's get in here and have a look. All right, there is a fearsome fanged snake scientist. All right, so I'm going to have to slip him off the card here and get a better look. So this is him in the blister card. You can see some additional features there. Sweet. Let's look at the amazing artwork on the back. Let's start at the top. That spooky, swampy setting. A lot of S's. There he is. There's Fang-or with his weapon, leaping out at Hero. Wow, and down here we have Lady Slither, who we know is coming to the Origins line, I think in September. Some kind of dragon there. And we have, looks a little bit like the Fright Zone, but that's for the Horde. So I'm not really sure what this is. Is this an earlier version of Snake Mountain? It's got a drawbridge, so it might be set on another planet. I know there's a bit of history around Fang-or because he was a character from the Classics line. Let's open you up. So what I've noticed here is this cardboard just slips off like that. There you go. So you've got this card. It doesn't have any hole up the top, so it's never going to be on a shelf. And you have this beautiful card. Can keep. You don't have to rip off. Bloody brilliant. All right. So this is him off the card. Let's have a look. Turn him around here. Looks like we're going to have a mini comic called Eternia Remastered. And here he is. Let's get him out of his plastic prison. And here we have Fang-or ready for action. There he is. He's got a sword, which is very basic. There's no paint apps to this, so no hilt's not painted brown, which is a bit of a shame. He does have armor. There it is. So you can see there, the armor can be removed. I love the gold around the bracelets here, and his shin guards. He's got the gold around the edging of the armor, the gold, and the snake motifs on his armor there. And let's move his out of the way. Look, on his belt buckle, we've got a lovely gold snake motif as well, so that's brilliant. His other accessories are a spanner. No paint apps, just like a gold color. I think in the Classics he had a spanner, screwdriver, and a hammer, and yeah, they added paint apps to it because he's got some spare teeth. So we'll pull out his short teeth and we'll put in his long teeth, shall we?
It's Molar, Eternian dentist.
You missed your 10:15 appointment. You have an impacted wisdom tooth. It has to come out. Success!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Molar, Eternian dentist. Comes with everything you see here.
And there we have the completed long-fanged Fang-or. There was a bit of trouble trying to get him to put these in, as you've seen. So that's Fang-or. I'm liking the sculpt. Some reptilian-like, snake-like skin on his legs, on his arms, on his head. Just the lifeless yellow eyes. So, comparison time. My favorite time. All right, this is Fang-or against the other Origins figures like Cobra Khan, who is also a snake man. But a lot of difference between those figures. And then there's the Snake Trooper, very glossy figure, whereas Fang-or is a matte finish. And of course we have the original Skeletor from Wave 1. So obviously all 5.5 inches, blends right in with the Snake Men. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I know Andrew and I love the Origins line, so Fang-or is a fantastic addition. I, as I said, had already purchased Vykron because I've missed out on the Classics version, so I really wanted to get my hands on this Masterverse edition. And here's a fun figure because you have so many parts. You can mix and match with this figure and just create your own fun character, really. I like that. And the Origins is pretty much like all the other Origins. You can pull parts off him, his arms, his head. He's got some good accessories, Fang-or. Great addition to the Snake Man army. All right, well, let us know what you think in the comments, whether you'll be picking these up from Mattel Creations or from the Big Bad Toy Store if they're available, and you want to put them in the collection. Is that something you guys want? Alrighty, thank you very much for joining Keep On Collecting again. Thank you very much for Mattel for providing these figures for review. Stay safe out there, look after yourselves and look after your families. Get into your toy rooms, puts a smile on the dial. If you like what you've seen, please feel free to comment and like and even subscribe if you haven't already. And as Andrew and I say, keep on collecting.